News. Let's head on over to the tight ends.
This is an interesting position because we've talked about it, how big of a role this could be on this team in this Jim Chaney offense, but there's just not a solidified starter. Well, I guess there's a solidified starter, but if someone were to step up and play really well, I don't think it would be difficult to take this from Austin Pope.
No, I think he was the most effective tight end last year and compared in just like all around offense,
Right.
blocking, passing. He was probably your most effective guy, and he did most of his work in the blocking game. He
Yeah.
only had 4 catches for 21 yards,
He has 7 receptions in his career.
and one was a fumble out of the backfield. So
I'd forgotten about that. Also, there's only two tight ends currently on the roster that have any catches for Tennessee. That have catches for Tennessee. It's him and Jacob Warren. Jacob Warren, I think, has one.
Princeton Fant has 2 catches for 15
Does he have
yards.
two? I thought I just saw two carries.
He did the previous year he had that. This year he
Okay.
had 2 catches for 15 yards.
Okay, so that's good. Three. You have three guys, and Princeton Fant's a big body too. I'm kind of. I mean, I don't know who that second tight end is right now. It's definitely wide open. Princeton Fant and Jordan Allen have moved positions over to tight end, so I guess really just because you needed depth there. You talked about how Jim Chaney likes to run that two tight end set. I mean, all you had last year really was Austin Pope and I'm blanking right now. Good Lord.
Dominic Wood
Dominic Wood
Anderson.
Anderson, yeah, that's it.
Yep.
And I mean, that's really that's about all you had. There weren't many guys because, like I said, Princeton Font moved over. Did he move over in 2018 or was it in the offseason?
So the off season.
Okay.
Yeah, so
So
he was there all year last year.
yeah, but a brand new guy to the system. Then you had Jacob Warren, but I think he put on a lot of his weight this 2019 into this offseason. I don't think he was a big kid last year.
No, he wasn't. I mean, look at him in high school. He was like what, 6'7",
Yeah,
maybe 215, maybe.
maybe. I liked him in high school. Every time I saw him play, very athletic, great hands, but like you said, just not a guy that would be in the trenches blocking. Where
No.
he was currently. Now I think he's listed at 245, so he's put on some weight. 6'6". I'm sure he still has great hands. I'm sure he's still pretty athletic. I'd be curious to see if he gets any looks this year. I mean, that's kind of who I'm wondering about. Just because you need somebody else to step up.
Yeah, and somebody's gonna have to step up in the passing game. You don't have Juwan Jennings, you don't have Marquez Callaway. This is a perfect opportunity for one of these tight ends to step up and be a safety valve for a quarterback that has struggled in the past or is going to be a true freshman.
Right. Like you said, the safety valve is the biggest thing for I think this position. If you can find somebody that's got sure hands, and isn't afraid to get dirty, I guess. I mean,
Dirty.
dirty. You're gonna have. I mean, but yeah, they're gonna have to take hits. They're gonna have to be able to chip guys and then go make a play after that. I mean, I don't know. It's just you need help so badly in the passing game right now. Unfortunately, there's just nobody that stands out. That's why I think I liked Austin Pope. I thought he did a really good job blocking last year, but he wasn't a
Yep.
threat in the passing game. That's why I say if there's someone that steps up and can be a good target and block adequately, I mean, just decent, you can probably potentially find yourself a starter or at least right next to Austin Pope in a two tight set. So I don't know. And then does D Beckwith switch over?
Yeah, that's a thing to be determined too. I mean, we're talking about Jimmy Callaway and his opportunity to see the field early. I'm sure he's thinking the same thing at wide receiver. And if he's able to run a 4.4, I mean, good Lord.
Yeah, but he's only listed at 215 right now. So does that switch happen this year? Is that something farther down the road? They try to put weight on him when they get a full offseason with him.
Yeah, I think it's just a way. I think he wants to be a wide receiver. So
Mm-hmm.
they're going to give him the opportunity to do that. And then if it doesn't work out, you can always switch over. I'm more interested to see because you weren't able to get your two big time prospects last year with
Right.
Eric Gilbert and Darnell Washington. They chose LSU and Georgia. But next year, the 2021 class, you have help on the way. You have
Mm-hmm.
Hudson Wolf, who is listed as the number one tight end in the country per Rivals. And you have a number of athletes like Trinity Bell, Julian Nixon, Rock Taylor, who could fit that mold as well. So I think you have some help on the way. I don't think this position is exactly where Pruitt wanted it to be. I
Right.
mean, I think it's getting there blocking. Now you don't really have anybody that's produced anything in the passing game.
Right.
I mean, I think we talked. I don't know when we were talking about Eli Wolf,
Yeah.
and I think it was when we got Hudson Wolf, and Prue was like, "What position do you play?" He was like, "I play tight end." He's like, "Can you block a defensive end?" And he was like, "I don't know, but I can run a 4.4."
Yeah, that's not I mean, that's exciting, but it's not what you need in a tight end. I mean, you need a
Right.
guy. How often are you going out for? How often are you going to need to use that 4.4 speed versus how often are you going to need to be able to block a defensive end?
Mm-hmm.
So, or even an
Yeah,
outside backer.
I just like with Princeton Fant, with him being a wide receiver in the past, and I would like to think he would be the best option to be the passing threat that Tennessee needs. But it could be Jacob Warren. It could be
Yeah.
the two redshirt freshmen that didn't really do anything last year, and that's Sean Brown and Jackson Lowe, who were I think both 4 stars or right
I th-
around that
yeah,
three four star
I think they were
range.
3 stars. I think Jackson Lowe is for a 3 star pretty highly rated. I think he was pretty close to 4 star. I don't know about
Mm-hmm.
Sean Brown.
Yeah, I think they're right around there. But you have Jim Chaney, who's a great tight end developer, and you have the new energetic coach and Osavet.
Yeah.
So I feel like this group could be good. And I think they're going to be good in blocking. But can
Mhm.
somebody step up and be effective in the passing game is the only question I have.
Yeah, I'm pretty. I like what you said about the. I think they're going to block well. I think they're going to help in the rushing game plenty. I don't, especially
Yep.
Austin Pope. I don't have many questions about that.
Mm-hmm.
But you talked about how can someone be that safety valve? That's what we really. I think that's what this team's lacking, and especially when we talk about helping a quarterback who just he has experience, but he doesn't have a ton of great experience. You know, his on the job training hasn't gone incredibly well. Can you have somebody that helps him out and be that safety valve? Can they be there in a check down? But you got to get through your check downs too. That's the thing. That's the thing about that. But I think that flips the script for this offense a lot. I think it helps take some pressure off of the rushing game, and then helps them take some pressure off the quarterbacks in terms of making those great throws all the time. We're not taking sacks if our first and second option don't get open. If you have a good tight end there that can find space and then catch the ball, and then if you get extra yards, that's gravy. That'd be nice, but we don't need it. But
Right.
we do need someone who can get out in space and catch the ball. I mean, even Dominic Wood Anderson, he dropped too many passes last year. I don't know if he dropped more than like 3, but as a tight end, if you drop 3 passes in a season and you're not a great tight end, I mean that's like half. That's a fourth of your chances. So
Yeah, I think last year he had 21 catches for 268 yards.
he had how many catches?
21,
Okay, so
which I was surprised at that.
yeah, I was about to say I can't believe we targeted him that much. I'm almost willing to say he maybe had more drops than that than 3. But yeah, again, that 3 out of 21 though. I mean that's that's a
Yeah.
good chunk of your targets, and it probably affects your targets if you're dropping 3. But yeah, I just want to see a tight end step up. I understand D Beckwith wants to play wide receiver, but if that position gets stacked up, especially when you talk about Jimmy Holiday flipping over too. I mean, there's another person you add to that room. I'd love to see him put on some size and be a dangerous threat. And then you bring in Hudson Wolf next year. I mean, that could be a really, really dangerous tight end group.
Yeah. We'll see. I mean, we're going to run a lot of 2 tight end sets, so somebody's going to have to step up.
Mm-hmm.
That's the fact of the matter. You're going to have to see some. Is it Jacob Warren? Is it Princeton Fant? Is it the guys Jackson Lowe or Sean Brown? Is it Jordan Allen? Because what's weird about Jordan Allen is he switched over to tight end, a room that has some depth,
Mm-hmm.
and he leaves the outside linebacker position, who basically had no depth.
Right.
So I thought that was kind of weird, and that makes me think that he thinks he has a chance of starting.
Yeah.
And I know he did play tight end in I think high school and maybe some in college. So I don't know. That's the interesting kind of wild card there. I don't know how he wants to see the field. I understand that, but I thought it would be this year, like with no depth at outside linebacker, I would think he would be there. But he switched over, so maybe he sees the field at tight end. I don't know.
Right. I don't know. I hope we find somebody there. I hope we find I hope Austin Pope comes along, especially in the passing game. That would be
Yeah,
nice.
because he was a big wide receiver at CAK,
Mm-hmm.
and
Which
I think he has good hands. It just I don't know.
maybe he
I,
can't find space. Maybe he can't. I don't know.
there's not a Travis Kelsey, there's not a Rob Gronkowski, but
No.
there should be. You know, Jason Witten has made millions and millions of dollars. Is going to be a Hall of Famer just being a safety valve.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much it.
Yep.
He's not. I mean he does get open most of the time, but a lot of times he's just finding space. He's just
Yeah.
sitting in a hole. So
Right.
he's a big old body. I'll take a big old body too. I don't need 4.4 speed.
I'm excited for Hudson Wolf to get on campus.
Yeah, but I mean his speed's pretty good too, isn't it? No,
Yeah.
his is not. His isn't great. I don't know who I was thinking of. His speed could use
He,
some work.
yeah, he gets open.
He does get open.
You can get faster. You can't.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it's a lot harder to get bigger.
You can't. You can get
like a healthy big.
You can get quicker. I don't know about faster.
Right.
You can get quicker.
Right. That's
though.
true. Yeah.
But that's all you really need in a tight end. Just get those quick twitch muscles going. That's all we need. I thought you were lagging for a second.
I was faking a scurvy.
Well, I don't have anything else for the tight ends other than I just really hope this is a great position this year. I don't know if you really have the talent to make a huge impact there. It's just it's pretty. It's not your strongest grouping, especially on offense. But I think there are some guys there that could at least be impactful. How impactful? I don't think a lot, but maybe. We'll see.
Yeah, I think it's up to them. It's up to them to get with JG and work on timing, or JG or whoever is under center for Tennessee. Work on timing and just build that bond and build that trust. Trust that they're going to be open. Trust that they're going to catch the ball. Trust that they're going to block and everything like that. I feel like it's kind of on them. I think it's a perfect opportunity for them to be utilized, so they got to take advantage of it.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.